Now, if I were to kick this video off with a statement saying golf clubs in 2024 have got far too expensive, I think it'd be fair to say that would be an understatement as such. And I can't imagine there's many people out there who don't agree with that statement. Well, today I have a set of golf clubs that I've picked up secondhand, and I honestly think this was the plateau, this was the level, and probably still is the level for the price of, wait for it, £319. Now, Titleist will never make a better iron than this. This is of course the Titleist 716 CB forged iron. Now these aren't in the best of conditions, they are of course used as you can see, but for £300 it really has me thinking, why would you spend any more than that? You see, Titleist have released a new set of CB irons, they always do, whenever they have the new AP1, AP2, TS, whatever. I always think with a forged set of irons, just how good do they really need to be? So we're going to take these on the golf course today and we're going to talk some numbers about them and see potentially just what the big deal is when it comes to charging, say, over £1,000 for the latest set of these CB irons, because there can't be that much technology go into them, surely. There can't be that much R&D. So are you just paying for the marketing? Are you essentially paying for Justin Thomas's Christmas party? Which I imagine does get a little bit wild, but anyway, kick things off with the 4-iron. And that's not to say that I don't think the new Titleist CBs are that good. I mean, that's the first swing of the day. It's Friday morning. We've took a gorgeous divot and things are looking up. But that's not to say that I think the new Titleist irons are rubbish, because Titleist, let's be fair, Titleist don't make rubbish irons. In fact, they don't make rubbish golf clubs, or balls, or bags, or hats, or towels, or gloves. You see, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to kind of say, well, if things are getting more and more expensive, and we all know that around the world, it's not just golf clubs that are getting more expensive. It is, of course, cars, watches, bread, milk, everything is just that little bit more expensive. But if you can get the same amount of performance with, let's be fair, a club that pretty much looks identical, then who should go and buy the new ones? Because yes, it's nice to get fitted, it's nice to have the right shaft, it's nice to of course have everything that you want within your golf clubs, but for a £700 saving, who's doing that today? I don't know. Bang smack middle of the fairway, but fair to say I think we're going to have quite a long shot into this opening hole. Now, I do work quite closely with Titleist. Whenever there's a new product out there, I do generally get to review it for you guys. But it's really funny how when it's a new driver, when it's new fairway woods, even when it's new wedges, they're always on the phone. They're always saying, oh James, can you come and review the new clubs for us? And we go, of course we can, because you guys want to see it. When it comes to irons, I don't know. They never seem to have the same energy. I don't really know why, because I've always been a huge Titleist fan. I used to get fitted for the new clubs pretty much every year when I was an assistant pro in the pro shop. The own use discount was really good at the time. Really good. Right, what do we have? 175. That's a long way, and it's cold this morning. I think we go 5-iron. Just a nice caressed one. Oh, I've not hit that very well, but that could work. Go on. And that kind of brings me on to some of the other talking points about these clubs, because you look at just exactly what's in them technology-wise, and for me to be able to hit a shot that badly and it do that well, kind of shows that when it comes to Titleist and their irons, yes, the T100s are fantastic. I got fitted for a set of them recently at SGGT and they were very good. How much better are they than the CBs? And we all know that the MBs are probably out of reach, or they're probably aspirational for a lot of golfers. I used to use the MBs, not to very good avail, to be honest. And now it's not just Titleist that do this. Obviously, I could have picked any of the big golf brands to kind of make this point about making golf more affordable, because realistically, every brand has the halo product, don't they? Every brand has the kind of QI10, the GT2, the Paradigm AI Smoke, But realistically, I think it's the brands underneath that that really kind of keep the industries going, really keep customers coming back, such as the Apex irons, such as the AP1, AP2 range, which is now the T100, T200, and of course for TaylorMade, those P7 70s or 90s or MCs. Come on. Not the best chip. Bogey. Not a great start. Not a great start. I've actually ruined my new putter as well. I bought this not long ago and I've let it go rusty on the flight home from Spain, so that's not ideal. But I do think it's the heritage why people potentially buy irons like this, golf clubs like this, should I say, because you look at the CB range in any product, it never really changes too much. The Halo brand is the marketing to get the customers in. From my opinion, from experience, and I've got a lot of experience in buying and losing money on golf clubs, unfortunately. That's a bogey on the first hole. The plan was to see if we can break par over a couple of holes whilst discussing these very, very affordable, fun clubs. And that challenge just got a lot harder. But a bit of a sloppy chip on the first. Just used the wrong club. It was a 56. Should have used a gap wedge. But I must admit, I think I would have bogeyed that. Well, could I blame the clubs? No, probably not. What do we have? Par 3, winter mats, now in play. 153. That should be an 8. I'm going to go 7. So I don't think these go a million miles. So options wise in these clubs, I've actually got them in probably the wrong shafts. I've got X100s in there. I didn't really look too much into, I know, ridiculous, from Clubs for Cash, but the 4-iron does have an X100 AMT, so advanced mass technology. So that shows that these clubs were fitted for somebody at some point, or they've snapped the 4-iron and that's the closest they could get. And I've just thought of that now. Can we kind of play this down to the yardage? That's what these irons were really good for. I've pulled that. I've pulled it. Again, not blaming the irons. The irons are good. And for the money, I could spend £700 on lessons. Fantastic. And you know what? There might be a lot of people in the comments saying, but James, for £300 odd, you could maybe get yourself something even better, maybe something more forgiving. And you certainly could. You could definitely get a set of irons that suits your game, because I'm not here saying that £300 isn't a lot of money, because it quite clearly is, especially in the modern day when everything, as we said, has gone up. When you look at some of the prices of kind of starter sets and beginner sets and package sets, £300 for a set of Titleist forged irons with dynamic gold shafts in there, even if they're not kind of brand new and shiny, is pretty good. I must admit, I think the lie angles are probably a bit wrong for me, and this isn't me blaming the clubs at all for any of the shots I've hit today or in a future match that's coming up. But they're that soft, you could probably take them to your pro, get them in the lie angle changing bar, whatever that's called. I should probably know what that's called. I used to do an exam on that. But from there, they're not going to be too difficult to tweak and kind of make your own, which is nice. So you can retrofit them, kind of. Taking positives here, yes, that is a long way left from 150 yards, but it is also flag high. So the irons went the distance, and we will continue to endeavour with the short game. I love this time of year when it's a little bit kind of dewy, not really wet yet, but placing is on, and you can see why. Right, I've just had a thought that my set of wedges cost more than this set of irons. In fact, my putter cost more than this set, and my driver cost more than every club in my bag cost more than the set of irons. It does go to show just how much value really is in that second-hand market if you kind of take your time and make sure you get the right clubs. Also shows that we're staring down the barrel of a 2-bogey start if we don't hit a good one here. Release. Oh, it's not released. How's that not released? The definition of insanity is making the same mistake over and over again. Buzzing. This is even longer than the first one. Par 5 coming up though, so we have that. And I'm not blaming, maybe I am blaming the irons, just like a little bit. I mean, it's the wedges really, isn't it? It's low again. That's 2 bogeys. to kick off the Friday. But I certainly feel like the positives here are that you can play bad with anything. And I'd rather play bad with something that costs £300 as opposed to £1,100, because that makes sense to me. Right, probably a good time to talk about the kind of performance of these clubs. So I have done the numbers for them inside, and I kind of treated it a bit more of like a practice session. I don't know how much you guys like to see the numbers or me just talk about them, but I really enjoyed it. I hit them pretty well. They feel really soft, which is something which, again, I think for the money, there's certain brands that can do this, and Titleist, Mizuno are certainly kind of the big two really, where you can make a club and it stand the test of time. Performance-wise, they go the distance I would expect them to go, like a 7-iron's around a 160 to 170, depending on the strike, spinning around 6,500. So realistically, like the 4-iron performs okay. I do feel like the 4-iron, maybe that AMT shaft just kicks the ball flat up a little bit. I noticed it on the first tee shot we hit this morning, where I struck it really nice, and I'm going to test this now. We're on a par 5, probably going to be a couple of 4-irons to lay up. Can I hit that little kind of low one? Because for me, even if I'm getting a really good value set of golf clubs, if I'm getting a deal, it's not really a deal if I can't play the golf I want to play with them. It's just cheap. And a deal and cheap, I've just noticed I've cut that massive bush down. Wow! That looks so different now. So different. Where's the bush gone? You must have been bored. So we're looking here for kind of like a little low drawy one, realistically. And I can play that with my irons. I've got the LA Golf shafts in at the moment, and one of the things I like about that is the versatility of being able to flight them down. Head style should help that as well, because obviously there's not a lot of kind of forgiveness really. And again, it's not bad. The strike's good, but it's certainly not that real low, especially with the descent angle I've put on that. It's not the low chippy one that I desire. And distance wise for a 4-iron, that's actually done really, really well. So it's down there and it's gone the distance I would want it to. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is there are deals out there, and if you are thinking about buying a new set of golf clubs or something like that, unless you're thinking there's a big technological advancement in maybe the 2024, 2023 models like T100, T200, T300, or in the other brands, the Apex Pros, the QI 10s, anything like that. I don't think you're going to see anything like that when it comes to those forged irons. And this isn't anything new. I'm not kind of professing to know anything that nobody else knows, but certainly you can find yourself a really, really good deal. These maybe don't suit me as much as I thought they did, but that's fine. Like Golf Clubs for Cash do have the return policy, so you can buy them, go and test them. If they don't work, you can just send them back, which is probably what I'd be doing with these. Not because I feel like I've played badly with them, because realistically today is down to putting and jipping, but then I have missed greens. So it's kind of out with one in with the other. That doesn't make sense, but rock in a hard place. Right, we're going to properly have a go at this, because it's, to be fair, it's still a long way. It's going to be a 4-iron and then hopefully kind of mid to short iron to get on this par 5. Let's have a birdie. Let's try and recap or recoup. Try and play that low one again. I mean, it's good again, but it's not what I want. And that was actually towish. That's done really well for me. That's bounding down there, in fairness. Does anybody else buy Costco gloves? Because this recent batch has been absolutely rubbish. It's torn apart, it kind of loses shape in your hand, and it actually kind of lose your grip a little bit. Again, not giving excuses at all, but if anyone buys them, let me know. Like, is it a certain thing you have to look for? Because sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're like not even worth buying. Well, I must admit, amazing how much that opens the hole up to be able to visually see the green on this par 5. Sometimes if you go to the right, you can't see it, but that's quite nice. I've not reached the second fairway, which isn't overly ideal. What do we have into this hole? 148 to the flag. Right, this is just an attacking 8-iron now. None of this try and play it down, just a nice one. The head shape of the low to mid irons is frighteningly good. They've always been really nice. There we go. That's the shot where you think, maybe I'll give them another go. because that's down there as well. That's lovely. Really enjoyed that. Better swing, better result, and a chance to save face. We're manifesting a bird. We're doing everything in our power with these budget clubs to hold this putt. Say budget clubs, the putter's far from budget. Far from budget. Guys, one of those days, but get in the comments below, what do you think to these £300 set of irons? Could you see yourself buying them? Could you see yourself using them? I can't even. One of them days, 2 over through 3. Probably not a day to have a bet with anyone. And I must say, one of the other factors about having these clubs in the bag is potentially that bag appeal. So no one's going to look at these and think, oh, he's only paid £300 for those irons. Not that that matters anyway, but certainly bag appeal wise, you look like you've kind of got the proper daddy clubs, because I'm not gonna lie, if I put the new ones on screen now that are like over £1,000, could you tell a huge, I can't tell a huge difference. I'm a PGA Pro, I've been doing this for years. If I can't tell a huge difference, not many people will be able to tell a huge difference.